Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to a weekend video. And a lot of people, I say a lot of people, I've seen a few comments here and there saying why did you rank 5 an unawakened version of Ægon? And I wanted to do a little video just to kind of address that, just have a look whether or not, obviously a lot of players do say, and I do agree, that the champion should be awakened, especially if you have any kind of serious idea of doing things like Abyss of Legends, Labyrinth of Legends, or high hit pool fights, or mainly fights that would carry over a lot of combos. I do agree with you. Now, a lot of you do know, if you follow the channel, is that I had a rank 5 skill rank up gem, and I was thinking to myself, what the heck do I use this on? I've not really got a substantial skill based champion of 5-star that I could have ranked up. And yeah, okay, I could have used it on Thor, I could have used it on Crossbones, maybe even Hawkeye, maybe even Black Widow OG. Yes, so there were options, but I kind of felt that because I do have future plans for Ægon, obviously I've only picked up Ægon, this is the first week of me having a 5-star version. I do have a 6-star version, but the potency from a 5-star version, and also the ability to get a skill awakening gem at 5-star is a lot more easier than getting a 6-star. So for me, this is all about future planning. Man, the awakened ability is the thing I want the most. This is my 4-star version here, and as you can see, it says at the end of the fight, Ægon adds 65% of the final combo meter into the persistent combo up to 999 is total Ægon's ability that counts the combo meter adds to the persistent combo on top of it. So it just sounds like a bit of waffle, but it is really important, especially when you look at the combo meter attributes and obviously whatever hits that you get. So yeah, it's all about building up, man. If you get up to the point of 1000 critical hits, cause Ægon's next hit to be unblockable. So important, guys, so important, and something that I want so badly. And obviously, look, it's been ages since the champion was introduced, and it's only been last week I got the 5-star version. I got 6-star Ægon a long time ago, but it's a fact that I want to be able to use the 5-star version sooner rather than later, and look, that could happen, who knows. And one thing I wanted to do is that I wanted to take this champion out for a spin and put it into Labyrinth of Legends even as an unawakened champion and see what this guy could really do. And I had so much fun with utilizing it. Even going up against Red Hulk, that was kind of a fun fight, especially with class advantage, especially with the synergies in place. Now I did mess up, but I think this is the first time in ages that I've actually brought an Ægon to a fight. Because again, you got to bear in mind, if you don't have certain champions and you don't play about with them quite consistently, then it's a case you do kind of figure out that you're okay. So chaining attacks in, making sure that you're just playing on point, and obviously without the correct synergies in this kind of champions, just utilizations or having the Proxima Midnight synergy is the most important thing to create and continue on those consistent combo meter in order to kind of do stuff. Anyway, I thought to myself, look, for the video that I'm going to create today, this unawakened champion version of Ægon, is it actually worth having and utilizing? Look, the fact is, just a kind of a quick answer is no. If you're doing long fights, high hit pool fights, and it's a case you've got to do, more than 5+, which, let's face it, Labyrinth of Legends, Abyss of Legends is that, then the fact is you're gonna need a champion that is a high combo building champion to make sure that your extensive grind is made a little bit more easier by having this in tow. So going up against Red Hulk, yeah, that's fine. That's a starting fight for Labyrinth of Legends, and that's great. But the fact is, without those persistent charges or persistent combos, which this champion has, it isn't going to be very fun when it comes into the next fight, which we'll talk about in a minute. So I did make some mistakes, which I think is good in any case to present why it's so important to have certain synergies in place that is going to minimize the risk of you losing those combos. You lose those combos, then when you go to the next fight, then what is the actual point? Because you're not effectively going to be building up any of those sweet combo things. Like on 75 hits, the opponents have minus 85% block proficiency when Ægon strikes with a critical hit. At 100 critical hits, have a 100% chance to shrug off one debuff. Handy if you're going up against certain champions that throw them, or it's more of a permanent type thing. 150 critical hits grant 0.57 seconds of true accuracy, allowing him to ignore auto block and all evade effects. Again, that is so helpful. 200 hits, critical hits ignore 100% of the opponent's physical resistance. 300 hits, critical hits grant a fury buff, increasing attack by plus 514.4 for 1 second. Obviously, that's dependent on your rarity, and stacks 3 times. Again, so important. Then critical hits cause opponents to suffer minus 100% reduced defense ability accuracy for Ægon's next hit. Again, incredibly helpful. Critical hits at 750 grant 1.5 seconds of unstoppable and combo shield. Again, that is probably the most critical thing. It's going to get to the 750, and when I finally get to 1000 critical hits, causes Ægon's next hit to be unblockable. Obviously, depending on the way the champion is playing, that is going to be, again, essential for huge damage output. And not to mention, obviously, if the champion is playing in a certain way, that at least you can throw that off. So yeah, it is critical that you excuse the pun, it's critical that obviously you build up those combos, and as well you have them just very easily into the next one. With a lot of players, a lot of kind of like YouTubers being able to have that 999 top left hand corner when they're going into the next respective fight. That is so important. And as well, the damage output with the big yellow numbers, or bigger yellow numbers, is going to be quite essential. Not to mention the fact that you can pair this champion off quite nicely. Not just about the synergies that the champion has, like with having the Proxima synergy. It's all about like increasing the attack rating. That's where you see a lot of players utilizing Nick Fury, especially with that hero synergy, and as well utilizing Quake in with that. Sometimes you can see that kind of going in quite nicely. Obviously, the point about persistent-based combos is so vital, especially when we reach the Old Man Logan fight. And building that all back up again, and yes, okay, the kind of damage output is less. Again, not the right synergy that I paired this with. And obviously, an Awakened version, the combos going over, and maybe like a different synergy would represent a more higher damage output than I'd say what you're seeing in my footage against maybe someone else's. And as well, maybe mastery setup is kind of important as well. So either way, it's a great champion, but I did feel the restrictions going into the Old Man Logan fight with the crits not being there. And there was a time where I just kind of went, all right, this is getting a little bit kind of like boring now. Even though I'm setting this up for this video, it is frustrating, and I don't think anybody really would consider taking an Ægon Unawakened and going up against the likes of Labyrinth of Legends, or indeed Abyss of Legends. And again, just kind of go back to this point, obviously, because people do want to know, people have asked the question, why did you rank 5 an Unawakened version of Ægon? And quite simply, the answer is preparation. There is going to come a time very soon that I'll be able to awaken this champion, whether or not it's through skill awakening gems, luck in crystals, which the 5-star crystal in Incursions does give. Yes, I've got to dodge a lot of kind of iffy champions, but look, I need that Ægon. I'm going to shoot to try and get this in the next month so I can clear a lot of content that I've had on the back burner for a lot of time. Also, I'm ready to sink in 50 signature stones, and if there's anything that crops up in that time, I'll sink that in as well. Anytime I get any more signature stones, it will be in preparation to put a load into that champion as well. Either way, Ægon Unawakened is still an alright champion. It's not going to be the game changer a lot of people might think it is. And yeah, again, it is method to the madness, because I am still hoping to get this champion, and I had a gem. So I was thinking, look, let's just put it on this for the time being. And also, I think Level Up was on at the time when I did it. So it's kind of like I did it for that as well. But still, you know, you can still use Ægon Unawakened. You're just not going to get the potency of fight-to-fight improvements, which, let's face it, that's why we like Ægon so much. So in any case, I hope you enjoyed the video. Check out some fresh content here on screen at the moment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.